So here's something that really pissed me off. Hey everybody, so this is gonna be my first big video, I think, of 2015, and I'm sorry I'm gonna have to start off 2015 on a low note, but the fact is something bad happened, and I think it deserves my attention, the attention of all trans people, and the attention of everyone. Everyone needs to know about this. December 28th of last year, 2014, Leelah Alcorn, a 17-year-old from Ohio, was crushed by a semi-truck because she threw herself under it in a suicide attempt that succeeded. She left a really harrowing suicide note on Tumblr, which everybody will be available to have a look at down below. Detailed in this suicide note is her experiences as a trans teen who was under severe pressure and underwent a lot of horrible things. So, quick overview of what Leelah went through. She had to go to trans conversion therapy by a Christian therapist. She was forced to go by her mother for a long time after she came out as transgender. After not feeling right in her body for a very long time, she finally realized, oh, trans is a thing and I can do this. But her parents weren't supportive at all. And she has a devout Christian family, and her parents have yet to actually release any statements at all in regards to the situation that's developing. She was removed from society for 5 months by her mother after she came out in school as gay, in a reaction to her mother and father not letting her start her gender transition at the age of 16 because you need parental consent for that. They did not provide that consent, hence she could not get treatment. For any trans person in the world, this is a really big deal, because every transgender person knows their own story and the story of other trans people, and that we don't feel right in our bodies for a very long time, and it pushes us to these extreme mental dysphoric lengths that go so far as for trans people to indeed commit suicide. And it's horrible, and it's a real thing. I myself have been through some terrible feelings in relation to my trans experience, but I've never done anything as drastic as what Leelah Alcorn and any of the other trans individuals who've committed suicide this year have done. What did Leelah Alcorn actually do with her suicide note? Well, she timed it to be published on Tumblr, and in the event that she did succeed in her suicide, it would have been published, which it has been. And to get a bit of detail of what was said in this little thing, I'm just going to give you guys some outscripts. When I was 16, I realised my parents would never come around and that I would have to wait until I was 18 to start any sort of transitioning treatment, which absolutely broke my heart. I know how you feel, darling. The longer you wait, the harder it is to transition. I felt hopeless and that I was just going to look like a man in drag for the rest of my life. Again, I know that feeling. On my 16th birthday, when I didn't receive consent from my parents to start transitioning, I cried myself to sleep. And again, I know a lot of people in that exact same position. Moving on down through Leelah's suicide note is, so they took me out of public school, they took away my laptop and phone, they forbid me of getting any sort of social media, completely isolating me from my friends. This was probably the part of my life when I was the most depressed, and I'm surprised I didn't kill myself. I was completely alone for 5 months. No friends, no support, no love. Just my parents' disappointment and the cruelty of loneliness. Down to the end of the note, it says, my death needs to mean something. My death needs to be counted in the number of transgender people who commit suicide this year. I want someone to look at that number and say, that's fucked up, and fix it. Fix society, please. Signed, goodbye, Leelah Alcorn. Fuck. So there's been a massive response to Leelah's suicide on the internet, particularly on Twitter. You guys can log on to Twitter and search in hashtag real live trans adults, where the transgender community actually came together to tweet about their experiences with how things were bad before and how they've now gotten better, and how they have developed from being a teenager with gender dysphoria and seeking treatment and going through hard times to being a real live trans adult with a happy or successful lifestyle that they currently love living in, or a body that they love living in. It's really great stuff. You guys should check it out. It's beautiful. It's a great sign of community, which is fantastic. Moving over onto Tumblr then, there's massive scrolling things going on Tumblr. Everybody's talking about this. Everyone is sharing. Leelah's blog has recently actually been pulled down by the Tumblr team so that nobody can hack it or log into it to change her note. or for anyone to actually attack it or share it with any horrible incentive, which is great. So thanks Tumblr for doing that, but thanks for leaving it up in the first place when this news first came out, because people needed to see this. If anybody wants a copy of Leelah's Tumblr, which has been deleted, you're welcome to check out the backup, which I have down in my description below. I just want to say thank you to Tumblr user. Where is your name? Come on now. Sorry, my laptop's going slow. Come on, come on, come on. Thank you to Tumblr user Ghost of Communism for sharing Leelah's backup of the blog. And thank you to everyone else on Tumblr who's kept copies, and to everyone who's made all the amazing artwork and the amazing tributes to her life and death. Well done to you all. It's a great sense of community when we come together for things like this. And what's even more amazing is the amount of cisgender people who really didn't know about the trans situation in the world until now because of Leelah Alcorn's death. And it's great to see that new people are kind of coming over to the ally side of things to help us with our journey as a community. But what really upsets me is that these people weren't doing it before. And it's a shame that it took someone as evidently awesome as Leelah Alcorn to have to commit suicide for this little movement to happen, this mass upsurge in support for the trans community, which we evidently have had. And the community has thrived and has come together to support each other. And a lot of people are saying, you know, if you're trans and you have an issue, you're welcome to talk to me. There are hundreds and thousands of offers online right now from people who want to help you through your trans journey should you be going through difficulty. In dark times like these, we like to remember what services are out there. In an Irish context, guys, if you want to get in contact and get help for your trans situation, should you be experiencing one, you can get onto TENI, which is the Transgender Equality Network of Ireland. The link will be in the description. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt for TENI because they're amazing. After TENI, you can contact, if you're in Northern Ireland, you can contact Gender Jam, which is a social/support group thing going on up in Northern Ireland. You can contact any LGBT helpline throughout the country. I'm pretty sure they'll be open to help as well. Not to mention any LGBT or teen associations that want to help counselling for young teenagers or LGBT people. You can also contact via Facebook and social media ITSA, which is the Irish Trans Student Alliance. If you find yourself being a transgender student in the country or around student age in the country and you need a hand, or if you need to meet people like you and so on, they are on Facebook as well, and you can email them too. It's a really great group. I'm part of it and I love it. It's one of my favorite groups of people in the world. So guys, that kind of wraps up this video anyway. So don't rest in peace, Leelah Alcorn and the rest of the trans people who died. Don't rest in peace. Rest in power, because your deaths won't be in vain, and we will all live on, and we will change the world in your favor. To quote Leelah one last time, fix society, and we will. Peace out, peeps.